ladies and gentlemen, veterans, dedicated VA employees, and all viewers. Thank you for coming back to my channel and watching another video where we talk about VA disability. My name is Attorney Matthew Lang, and I'm a VA accredited attorney. It's not uncommon for me in my practice to see a lot of errors generated by the VA, legal errors that occur in every decision. So today I want to talk about one particular error that came out in an Office of Inspector General report issued on July 17th, 2024. The OIG report titles itself as VBA needs to improve the accuracy of decisions for total disability based on individual unemployability. Now, total disability based on individual unemployability, known as TDIU, or also for short IU or individual employability, is a provision of the law that essentially states that veterans, if you don't meet the what we call scheduler 100%, you could potentially still obtain a temporary 100% evaluation for the combination of disabilities or a single disability that prevents you from being substantially and gainfully employed. So keep in mind that the OIG report is only about one issue that the VA decides. This isn't about every issue. So in reviewing these IU or TDIU claims, the OIG took a small sampling of decisions that granted and denied the benefit. The OIG had found that some errors resulted in improper payments to the veterans, and some errors had potential to affect the veterans' benefits, but did not result in improper payments. But even so, the report does mention there's $100 million worth of improper payments that has occurred because of these errors. So what did the OIG do? The OIG reviewed a random sampling of 120 granted individual unemployability claims and 80 denied claims that were completed from May 1, 2022 to April 30 of 2023. Now keep in mind, this is the year prior to this year. So the sampling doesn't even include years before 2022 or the year after. So the OIG had found three types of errors that could occur. One being a monetary impact error, that's the result in an improper payment to the veteran. A potential impact error, which could affect the veteran's benefits, but did not result in an improper payment. And procedural deficiencies. These do not directly affect the veteran's benefits. So in reviewing the IU claims, the report shows that the OIG had estimated that 74% of granted IU claims and 76% of denied IU claims that were completed during the 2022 and 2023 timeline had at least one claims processing error. So if we meet in the middle between the 74 and the 76, and we just say 75, we can find that from the OIG's report that only 25% of IU claims contain no error at all. Essentially a 25% accuracy rate. In looking at the monetary impact errors from all those reviews, the OIG had estimated that $84.7 million of underpayment to the veterans had occurred, and that $9.8 million in overpayments had occurred. The monetary impact errors, they state, can occur when improperly granting or denying a claim, improperly grant or deny a related benefit, such as a special monthly compensation. Likely in this case, it's known as SMCS, or a housebound type SMC. Assigning an incorrect effective date. So if the VA doesn't assign the date going back far enough, the veteran's underpaid. If they assign it too far back, well, then the veteran's overpaid. So the OIG went on to talk about the potential impact errors. So using the results from their sample analysis, the team had estimated that 29% of granted IU claims and 30% of denied IU claims had potential impact errors. They include examples of monetary impact errors found and subsequently corrected by the VA, or a failure to gather all evidence, which may have led to improperly denying claims or incorrect effective dates in granted claims. Or a failure to consider all disabilities deemed to be associated with the individual unemployability claim, which could have led to not identifying and granting additional benefits such as the special monthly compensation. The OIG in the report went on to then discuss the procedural deficiencies. They found an estimate of 50% of the granted IU claims and a 58% in the denied IU claims had a procedural deficiency. Now, they indicate that the procedural deficiencies include failing to discuss all relevant economic and non-economic factors of a veteran's history in the rating decision narrative for denied claims, include an explanation or analysis of how impairment from service-connected disabilities support the decision to grant individual unemployability benefits, address the competency of a veteran when a claim is granted based solely on a mental disability, and gather evidence from claims that granted individual unemployability benefits with Social Security records, medical records, or vocational rehabilitation records. Now, the OIG in the report went on to discuss in more detail of the different offices that are within the VA that handle policies, procedures, and quality, and so forth. But in ultimate conclusion, the OIG had found that the VA needs to improve the accuracy of IU claims processing and ensure claims processors follow the policies and procedures. I don't disagree with the OIG's finding. However, I would add to that they need to do that for every claim. In my experience of what I see back here, this is a huge reason for errors across the board. The OIG not only had found the needs for improvement in the accuracy, the team also found the systems designed to assist the claims processors or the decision makers could be improved. The procedures manual could be revised to clarify the required IU decision language, and training and the workload distribution could be improved to ensure claims processors have sufficient exposure to these claims. Now, I would say it's without a doubt that good training always makes a better decision maker. The VA does need to improve their training, in my professional opinion, as somebody who has worked within the VA for 13 plus years and then now has been working outside of the VA within the same work, would definitely agree on the training issues of the OIG. But one thing that isn't really highlighted here is the idea that the training of the VA has actually deteriorated over the years and seems to only be getting worse. For example, when I began in the VA around 2008, it was mandated that we do 80 hours of training every year. By the time I left the VA in about 2021, the mandate, as I recall, was down to about 40 hours. It had already dropped in half. Not only had the mandate dropped, but the training styles itself had drastically changed. Instead of a lot of in-person training and by senior and experienced personnel, the VA turned to a lot of video training that could be clicked through as quick as possible in order to get the credit and move on. You didn't even have to know what the training was talking about. So yes, I would agree with the OIG in this case that the training is huge and that the accuracy of the VA does need to be improved. Now, in consideration of the systems, I would also agree with the OIG that the systems need improvement as well to help with the process. There's a lot of laws that need to be remembered. Totally understand that. So there are designs in the system that were supposed to remind the decision maker of things like the competency issue I spoke about or the SMC spoke about here. However, looking at the OIG's report and being somebody who was present and helped essentially give birth to the program, it's clear to me that after more than 10 years, the same errors still exist in the system today. Now, the OIG report also goes through and gives their series of recommendations, and then there's a little discussion of those recommendations within the report, and the report breaks down some other numbers in more detail. So I would encourage veterans and VA employees and anybody who is watching to actually go through the reports and read it for yourself. But the big key takeaway here from my perspective when I serve veterans is that the VA makes consistent errors, and those errors are only growing and getting to a point where veterans are almost nearly never getting the benefit that they're entitled to timely or correctly. As mentioned again in the OIG report, the OIG estimated only 25% of the claims for just IU alone had no error in them. So VA, please take these considerations in the OIG report seriously and help the veteran out, help your VA employees out to do the job better. Now, veterans, with that said, I would like to open up the opportunity again that if you feel that there are any legal errors in your VA decisions and you would like to appeal a claim, or you feel you've been wrongfully denied, then please go to my website, veteranlang.com, click that case evaluation button. Let's set up a call. Let's talk about what you've got. And if you want representation by me, or we agree upon that, then we will definitely get you those benefits that you're entitled to based upon the evidence of your record. I thank you again, everybody, for watching my video and coming to my channel, and I look forward to the next video that we share together. Have a great day.